Luke Thomas here in Houston, Texas, just after the Bellator 149 pre-fight press conference next to the man here, Melvin Guillard. Melvin, you are enjoying this Dada 5000s next to us. You're enjoying the show, are you not?
I'm enjoying this like a mofo, man. For the first time, I get to not be the center of attention in a crazy way. I'm enjoying it. I'm just soaking it all in. I'm enjoying it. I'm embracing it.
Now, you're friends with Kimbo Slice, right?
Yeah. I made friends with Dada too, you know. So I'm neutral, bro. Like both guys have their differences. It doesn't dictate who I hang out with or who I speak to. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know. Plus, I'm teammates with Kimbo. You know what I mean? So for me, you know, it's like me watching a Horace Gracie and Shamrock fight. You know, I'm not picking sides. You know what I mean? As a fan, I'm a fan, but I'm also a fighter. But I'm a fan of both. You know what I mean? It's not like me being a fan of the guy sitting at home watching it on the couch. You know what I mean? I've been around this sport for 22 years, so you know I'm a fan. You know of both guys, so I don't pick. So when it comes to fights like that, I don't pick sides. You know what I mean? I just hope the fans get what they paying for, and that's a great fight by two legends. You know, and the same thing with Dada and Kimbo. You know what I mean? I just hope these guys, you know, all the talking that they're doing, I hope it really lives up to the fight, because it's kind of hard to go back to the hood, you know, if you don't live up to the expectations of what the people don't want to see. You know what I mean? And people in the hood want to see things a little bit different than people that's not in the hood. So if you know what I mean, they better go in there and put it all out there.
And I'm sure you're expecting that. What has been the most entertaining part of their rivalry in your judgment?
Man, to say they live so close, I had no idea they didn't like each other. I mean, I would have thought they'd be out eating some fried chicken at a family reunion after this, but I guess that's not going to happen. For me, you know, like I said, I just want to see these guys go in there and put it all out there, because you know they got a stacked undercard, bro. They got Emmanuel Newton fighting. They got a stacked card that they're gonna have to live up to. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I'm right before their fight, so that's a tough act to follow in its own. So I mean, I hope I'm gonna give them something they got to go work for.
So let's talk about you here for just a second. How has your Bellator run been? You fought a tough guy that a lot of people didn't know about when you came into Bellator. You injured your hand. You're back off that. You had the sort of online beef with Patricky Frede.
That ain't over. Patricky Pitbull, his bitch ass next. He next. He's definitely gonna get beat up in April. I'm definitely gonna fight him in April. What happened was, you know, I was supposed to fight Mike Bronzoulis. Mike Bronzoulis is a friend of mine. We trained here in Houston together for 7 years with Saul Solis at Metro Fight Club. You know, he pulled out of the fight, but he said he pulled out. He was injured, but I didn't get a phone call. And we're buddies. I didn't get a phone call. I didn't say, hey, what he hurt. There's still nothing posted out there what he hurt. You know what I mean? And I'm there to put it out there, because I'm tired of fighters, you know, oh, yeah, I'll fight, I want to be a fighter. You know, he done really well in Legacy. He won the Legacy title. Then he crossed over to Bellator. He had a tough fight against Josh Thompson. But if you're going to be an elite guy and you're a former champion coming from an organization, you should fight the top guys. You know what I mean? Just like you see top guys from Bellator leave Bellator and go to UFC. They don't get any easy fights. You know what I mean? So I feel like he was ducking a tough fight. You know what I mean? Buddy and all. I don't care how he feels after I say this, but I feel like he's ducking a fight, because there's nothing out there stating what he hurt. You know, and they had something disclosed saying that, oh, he tore his ACL, or, you know, he hyperextended his elbow, anything. Had somebody said something, I would have believed it. But nothing has surfaced. And this is like my probably 20th, 30th interview since it happened, and still nothing has surfaced.
Have you talked to Mike directly?
No, I haven't even seen him since I've been here. So, which to me is a little weird. You know what I mean? Like, I was expecting to see him, even if we're not fighting. I expected to see him already. Maybe I'll see him at the fight. I don't know. But, you know, it's just nothing came out about what he hurt. All right? Now, as far as Patricky Pitbull, problem with that is, you know, I pick who I fight when I fight. That's how my contract is set up. You know what I mean? I did that on purpose, so I have control of my career. Patricky Pitbull tried to network himself into a fight with me. I'm coming off a 6-month layoff from snapping my wrist completely in half. You know, I respect Patricky Pitbull in a manner that I feel he's a top 5 contender. Why would I fight a top 5 contender on a 2-week notice coming off a 6-month layoff? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm Melvin Guillard now, but I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? So, and I asked this camp, I said, if the shoe was on the other foot, would he have done it? And if they said yes to that, then they fucking dumbasses. Because I wouldn't fight me on a 2-week notice, coming off a 6-month layoff. You know what I mean? So, and then on top of that, I'm the third to last fight. On a fight with Patricky, I should be the headliner or co-main. That's how I look at it. You know, I look at myself as a value. You know, I've been in the sport a long time. I'm more popular than probably most title holders. You know what I mean? So for me, I don't feel like I should be a co-main or a third to last fight with a Patricky Pitbull fight. I think that's a fight we can network and set up for April, give it a timeline, and then we get in the gym and train for each other. And then I beat the shit out of him.
What are you looking for out of this Derek Campos fight? I mean, he's a credentialed competitor, but doesn't quite have the name value that maybe some other guys in the division have. Is this just a tune-up fight, given the layoff from the injury?
No, man, no, not for me. I think every fight's tough. You know, this guy's tough. What makes him dangerous is that I don't know much about him. All right? Everybody know everything about me. It's hard to not know. But what people don't know is, you know, I haven't really been here the last 2 years. You know, I haven't been myself. I've been up and down. I've been a little bit unhealthy with my hand. I had got away from my wrestling. I wasn't doing any ground game work. I had just completely just stopped. You know, I mean, you can notice it in fights. You know, I'm back to being a well-rounded mixed martial artist again, and I'm happy about that. You know, and I'm excited to give this tribute fight to my boy Kevin Randleman. You know what I'm saying? So you will see some vicious ground and pound. You will see perhaps maybe a submission or two thrown out there. You know, I'm coming to fight. I'm coming to win. But I know this kid's coming to win, and he has everything to gain. I'm really the one that has everything to lose because I'm already a big-name fighter. To the world, nobody know who he is. But if he gets a win over me, then he becomes an unnamed fighter, kind of like the Gertz fight. You know, Gertz basically got a name because he fought me, and he beat me. You know, but I wasn't at my best. I will get that rematch with Gertz, too, at the end of the year, hopefully. I know he's hurt right now. I wish him a speedy recovery because I'm here to compete and I'm here to win.
How did Randleman influence your career in all the many ways? Are you able to articulate all the different ways he influenced you?
He's the reason I put gloves on, man. He was the reason I dyed my hair. He's the reason why I was a high school state champion wrestler I was in high school wrestling for the state title, and I was, slamming kids to the ground. I almost got DQ'd because I saw myself as Kevin Randleman as a kid. You know, between him and Vitor Belfort, those were the two guys that I idolized. You know, Kevin Randleman for the vicious ground and pound in the wrestling, and then Vitor Belfort for the quick hand speed and the knockout power. You know, but it all started with Randleman. Randleman, even when I had a Dreamcast, a Sega Dreamcast, I played with Kevin Randleman. I never changed it. You know what I mean? And you know, I was even blessed to be on one of the UFC game back in 2010. And every time I play with myself, I still see myself as Kevin Randleman. You know, I don't see myself as Melvin Guillard on a video game. I still see myself as him. So it's hard to lose a mentor and a friend. The sad part was, too, he died at the same age as my father. You know, my dad was 44 years old. 2006, he passed away. And then 10 years later, another strong man in my life who had a very big presence on my life was Kevin Randleman. He dies at 44 years old, 2016. So, you know, it's been messing with me the last couple of weeks, but it's just fueling me to go out there and have a great fight. And I know he's watching down on me. He just became one of my guardian angels. And I know every time I step in that octagon or that circle, that square, whatever the case may be, every time I put those gloves on, I know Randleman's going to be smiling down on me.
How do you think he'll be remembered after all this?
I want to make sure his legacy lives on. It'll live on through me because, like I am now, you know, a lot of people didn't say much about him, wonder why he was here, you know, and that bothered me a little bit that people want to talk about the guy because he's gone all of a sudden. You know, he was just here yesterday. Nobody, you know, people probably passed him up at a fight, didn't even think twice to say, hey, let me get a picture. Hey, let me get an autograph, you know. People probably, you know, didn't even pay 2 cents to it, and now all of a sudden he's gone. Everybody's like, oh, he's going to be forgotten. And, you know, people are posting all these memorable, you know, documentaries about him. And I just hate when people do that. You know,
But aren't they paying tribute in their own way?
Yeah, I understand that. You know, I understand that. But what about paying tribute to fighters that are still here while they're here? You know, I think that's what people need to do more of. And not just fighters, but, you know, I'm from New Orleans, and people tend to want to celebrate death after people are gone. I feel like, why not celebrate people while they're here? You know what I mean? And that's all I'm saying. I mean, I know people are looking at it in a positive way, but as a mentor, as a friend, as somebody who had a lot of inspiration on my career, you know, I picked up a phone call. I didn't even believe it when I saw he had passed. I thought it was one of those spoofs. So I picked up the phone. I started calling his phone, no answer. I started texting, and then at 4 o'clock in the morning, I get a text from his wife saying this is no longer his phone, and that just broke my heart, you know. So I'm gonna always pay tribute to Randleman, man. And you know what? I've been paying tribute even when he was here because he was the reason I started dyeing my hair. You know, my fight style basically originated because of him. So I'ma always pay tribute to Randleman. That's not ever going to die. And every time I have a chance to give an interview, I'm always going to mention his name.
We wish you best of luck on Friday. Thank you for your candor, and best of luck to you on your fight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.